I welcome you once again today. I want to talk to you about marriages, problems that we experience in marriages, the reason why so many marriages are not working the way they should, the reason also why so many people are not getting married. A lot of married people have problems in their marriage and they blame one another. So many people are also not getting married as at when due, and they blame a lot of factors. But today I want to speak to us about one particular factor that has destroyed so many marriages, rendered many homes joyless, separated many husbands and wives, and they give different kinds of excuses without knowing that this particular one factor is responsible. This is spiritual interference in marriage. Supernatural interference, that is, spiritual forces that interfere in marriage and marital lives, making marriages not to work as they should. There are forces from the spiritual that are invading the lives of so many people, invading so many homes. And if you are not very careful, these forces will destroy your marriage or will stop you from getting married. There are some spiritual elements that are interested in having relationships with humans. And when they do, by one way or the other, have access into the life of these individuals, they begin to work against their marital lives. They begin to work against their marital settlement. And where they're already married, they can start working against their fruitfulness. They can start working against the peace of their homes. You see, scripture told us that we are not ignorant of the devices of the enemy. And he also told us that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. So blaming the man for the problem in the home or blaming the woman for the problem in the home is actually fighting against flesh and blood. There are some people that are acting in some ways in their homes, in their marriages, acting in some negative ways, not because they wanted to act that way, but because there are spiritual interference. There are spiritual forces, entities interfering with their marital life. How do you know that some forces are interfering with your marriage? Take, for instance, um, when you begin to have sex in the dream with some beings, it may come in form of a snake. Of course, when I say having sex with a snake, some people may think it is an impossibility. But the reason of the ministry I run and my coming in contact with so many people, I've had series of confessions. People telling me how they have sex with snakes, telling me about snakes talking to them, even in their dreams. So when you begin to have sex in your dream, know that there is a spiritual entity, interfering with your relationships, that either does not want you to get married or does not want you to stay married. These beings are actually very jealous. You're doing yourself a lot of harm when you don't believe that such things exist, because people are being destroyed because of ignorance. When you know these facts, it will become very easy for you to know what is going on and to declare war against these forces of darkness. There are several ways that they can infiltrate the life of a man and then begin to make their marital life difficult. Some people go into a relationship and suddenly they find out that for no reason, for no just cause, they don't even want to see their partner anymore. They just have this hatred even when nothing has gone wrong. They just don't want to see this person anymore. They most of the times think that they are the ones taking these decisions, not knowing that they have been influenced spiritually. Child of God, I really want you to know, for your marriage to work, every spiritual interference must be taken away. When they are taken away, you will find your peace. When people tell you about spiritual spouses, spiritual husband, spiritual wife, these things are real. What these people do is to interfere. For example, a young man told me a story one day. He told me a story of his family. He said he got married to a young lady and was told that this young lady told him that there is a man that always come to have sex with her in the dream every night. To an extent that she has never seen this man physically, but she can identify this man if he sees this man. Finally, they got married, and this man told me that he couldn't continue with the marriage because of what was going on in the marriage. Funny stories that I can't tell you here. The man, the spiritual entity, was actually coming into the house and was interfering with the activities of that home. A young lady once told me, say, this man came to me having sex with me, and I tried pushing him out thinking I was dreaming. And I opened my eyes wide open and I saw a being that was standing in my room. So many funny things are happening out there. Now, I will want to talk to you on how these beings gain access into the life of individuals. I will want to talk to you on how these beings gain access into the life of individuals and what they use to control the life of their victims. Some of them, when they have entered the life of an individual, they begin to drive away possible suitors. Whenever you enter into a marriage, okay, take this story for an instance. A young lady came to me. She said she wanted to get married. That a young man saw her physically and wanted to get married to her. But she was afraid because over time, a particular being had been coming to sleep with her, have sex with her in the night. She had grown so used to the voice of this being and the activities around her, but she can't resist. She said, the first person that came to marry me, this being spoke loud and clear in my ears and told me to discontinue that relationship. He said, when I refused, suddenly the young man was involved in an accident, and that was the end of it. And the being came back and also spoke to her again that he was responsible for the death of this young man. Somebody may say, mm-hmm. She said it happened the second time. The second person became very sick, had a kidney or liver problem, was taken to the hospital and did not survive. I've had cases of people telling me that this man came to them in the dream of the night and told them that, do you see this person coming to marry you? If you do not discontinue, I will kill him. There are many young men that have become broke once they entered into a particular relationship because there is an interference spiritually. Of course, I do not need to tell you that things that happen in the spiritual play a major part in what we see in the physical. I want you to stay on this channel as we will continue to look at um, how these forces. You may be doing your marital life a very a word of good by listening. You will find out the reason why maybe you are not yet married. You will also find out the reason why you are struggling in that marriage. A young lady came to me one day, and as we were praying, it was revealed to me that her husband is finding it very difficult to stay in the home because someone spiritually is making their home uncomfortable. And when I told her this, she confirmed it. That a being that she had known from childhood that has been coming to her, giving her things. There are things I will tell you that you don't think, you may not imagine existed in this world. So it is not about people singing, carry me to my husband's house. There are things that are preventing people from getting married. And there are forces that are preventing the married ones from staying married. I encourage you to stay focused, stay tuned on this channel. By the grace of God, we will open your eyes and make you understand what is going on. Till I come your way, soonest, keep praying and keep winning. God bless you.